We are here for keto class. I get hyped up every time I see the intro. So we are on the TikTok side as usual, as always. So we gotta. If you're on the live side, then make sure that you allow the software to be able to recognize you, because on the Facebook side and the YouTube side, if you leave a comment and you don't let it recognize you, then it doesn't know you're there. So you see how Andrea looks really, you can see the picture with her and Big Goomba in there, and it says nice, hey coach, you can tell who it is. So, you definitely got to let the software recognize you. So tonight, y'all, we're going to talk about fat. We're going to talk about the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio on my TikTok family. Y'all know, definitely comment. Keep commenting, but just know that I won't be answering right away, that I'm going to come back later and answer those questions. So keep commenting, but don't feel like, oh, he's not paying us any attention, because I will be back. We do the after party on TikTok. All right. So y'all just hold tight and get the information, and we save your questions, but please. So if you are here for the first time, drop a 1 in the chat, because I know we got a few new folks on the TikTok side, thanks to Totally Me, who did a duet today. I haven't even seen it yet, but I was told about the duet, so that's pretty cool. And got some people came over to see what we're doing over here. So we got a few hellos in here. Appreciate y'all popping in. So Colleen is in there. Colleen, we got another good evening over there. So y'all definitely let the software recognize who you are, so that when you come in, we're able to see who you are and where you're checking in from. So on the Facebook side, y'all definitely let us know who you are and where you're checking in from. Y'all don't be shy on the Facebook and the YouTube side. I don't think I saw YouTube. Okay, Lou and Maria on the YouTube side. So there we go. We got some YouTube love. So I love to see the YouTube love, because that's one of the things that I'm working on building up, is the YouTube as well, because I have so much content, so many videos, y'all. It's crazy. So I just want to be able to get it out to a place where individuals can get it and be able to categorize it so people can learn from it. So at the beginning of the year, I did a keto kickstart, and I did 3 classes to basically help anyone get started with the ketogenic lifestyle. So if you're new, seek out those 3 classes, y'all. If you're in my Facebook group, they're in my Facebook group. Probably harder to find in the Facebook group, but they'll be pretty easy to find on YouTube. So go to YouTube, look for those keto kickstart classes. I did 3 classes back to back on the YouTube side. So definitely check that out. Let me plug my phone up now, because I know what will happen later. Y'all will be like frozen. All right. So here we go. So we're going to talk about fat today. And I know we talked about fat before. So we're going to go a little bit deeper, though. We're going to dive a little bit deeper. So Donna's from South Carolina. Hey, Donna, thanks for popping in. We got Sydney. So Sydney said, Sid the kid checking in. All right, Sid, appreciate you for checking in here. Y'all definitely let me know who you are, where you checking in from, on the TikTok side and on the YouTube and Facebook side. Y'all definitely just pop that in there. Let us know who you are, where you checking in from. It's always good. You might find a keto buddy. You might find a keto buddy. So don't be shy. Don't be shy, y'all. So don't be shy. So, all right, y'all. So here we go. So let's talk about this fat, y'all. So I've been talking about why you need the healthy fat. So we know that the healthy fat is the driving force of the ketogenic lifestyle. And I teach to get about 120 grams of fat. Now, granted, if you put it into the carb manager, it's going to fluctuate or go, up a few or down a few, depending on where you are as far as weight goes. But I estimate around about 120 grams of fat. And so if you put it in the carb manager and you see 120, you're not like, what? Like, is that way too much? So I give you all those general numbers so you understand what you need, what you need to burn fat. So that is going to help you to get in the fat burning mode. Now, I've learned this over time, and I've learned this with my mastermind, that every time I encourage someone to increase their fat, they start losing weight. So if you don't believe me, just try it, all right? Because I've seen it. Not only do I teach it, but I've been able to apply it for myself and with other individuals who have seen massive success off of just increasing those fat numbers. So the protein numbers, you want to moderate those. You want to keep your proteins moderate. And we just generally just keep the carbs at 20 grams. So whatever you just have to alter your sliding scale in your apps to make that fit. I love for the grams of carbs to be 20. I know some people will like make them like 15. I don't like for you to go way under on the carbs because I want it to be something that you can sustain. I want it to be something that is not, I won't say easy, because of course any change in lifestyle is not going to be easy, but I want it to be something that you can sustain. And if you go too low in carbs, it makes it too hard for you to keep up with it. And then when you're ready to make a change, it's really hard to do that. So if you keep them at 20, if you ever have a week where you want to go zero carb, or 3 days where you want to go zero carb, you got some room there to do that. So I always encourage you to keep those carbs at 20. So you say, oh, so it's Gabby. So what's up, Gabby? I like your avatar, your new picture there, Gabby. I like that. So checking in from South Carolina, we got Lynette said, I'm here and totally agree. Getting the fats make a big difference. So yes, Lynette has been working with me since September. I believe Lynette, maybe September or October, and has had some success. I'm saying, had some great success, and she has had some life things go on as well, and been able to adjust and be able to still manage through that and maintain her weight. And now she's right back on it. So that's awesome, because she's made keto a lifestyle for her and her husband, and they've both been losing weight. Her husband been in the background, but they've both been losing weight. So since September. So I love that. We got a couple people like that. We got a couple couples that like the wife might be there and the husband is in the background losing weight as well. So that's awesome. I love that. And then we got Big Goomba and Andrea. They do it together in the group. So when I'm talking about them individuals in the group, they're in the mastermind group, and they actually are able to continue to lose. So let's talk about this. So the fats are important for energy and cell growth. So one thing about cells that we need to understand, I'm gonna get a little sciencey. I'm not gonna stay on the science for too long, but I'm gonna get a little bit sciencey, because I think people just tend to like make fat seem like it's such a bad thing. And our cells need fat because our cells have a fat layer. So if you think about the cell, I want to get up here on the board and start drawing. That's what I like I'm in class. So there is a bilipid layer on every cell, and that bilipid layer helps to regulate what passes through the cell, what goes in and out of the cell. So fat is important, y'all, because every cellular function we have requires fat. So we definitely need to stop looking at fat as such a bad thing and start looking at eating healthier fats. Just like you can think about eating healthier meats, just like you think about eating healthier veggies, just like you think about eating healthier carbs. So whatever that is to you, and I hate to say healthier veggies, but healthier carbs, right? So with all of those things, like just start looking at the healthier fats. And we're going to talk about that today as well. So omega-3 fatty acids, these are one of the things I'm really going to touch on. And I think a lot of people know about omega-3s. I remember as a kid, I would say, my dad and all of my dad's buddies, they were all talking about taking fit cod liver oils and fish oils and stuff like that to get the omega-3s and fats. But the funny thing is that they knew that they were supposed to get these omega-3s and they would buy these fish oil supplements, but everyone was afraid to eat fat for real. And that's the funniest thing about it. It's like everybody was really, truly afraid to eat fat for real, but everybody was taking omega-3s and omega-6s and more so omega-3 capsules, cod liver oil. I just remember that so clearly. But we were living in a time where everything was low fat, like everything was low fat. But so now I think that we're a little bit more educated on that and understand that fat is necessary. So we need to get that fat. So hey Margie, I appreciate you popping in from South Carolina. So the omega-3 fatty acids, they can help prevent the heart disease and stroke. So that sounds weird, right? It's like fat. Fat can help you prevent heart disease and stroke. But yes, omega-3 fatty acids can help you to prevent heart disease and stroke. It reduces blood sugar. You know that because fat does not give you an increase in blood sugar. It does not spike your blood sugar. If you're eating fat, it is not going to give you a significant increase in your blood sugar. It raises the healthy cholesterol, the HDL. So eating omega-3s or getting those omega-3s is going to help to increase your healthy fat, your HDL. So it's your healthy cholesterol, in other words. So you definitely want that. It lowers your triglycerides. So y'all know when you go to the doctor, what do they tell you? They tell you about your triglycerides, your HDL, and your LDL. So when they run your cholesterol, that's what they talk about, right? The HDL, LDL, and triglycerides. So it prevents lethal heart rhythms. So there again, we talking about the heart. So it hinders that. So it stops that or slows that, improves that. So let me talk about HDL and LDL for a minute, because this is one of my favorite topics to talk about, to educate on. I would say not to even talk about, but just to educate, because this is one of the biggest fears of the ketogenic lifestyle is cholesterol, right? So we know that there are two types of cholesterol that majority of people are concerned about, and that's the LDL and the HDL. And I'm gonna make sure I say that slower, HDL, because I know people may not really know. So HDL and your LDL. So the HDL is, I call it the healthy cholesterol. That's what the H, that's not what it stands for, but that's a good way to remember it. The LDL is the lousy cholesterol. But the thing that I think is not really taught is that there is a harmless component to the lousy cholesterol. So that part right there is the part that I'm going to educate you on a little bit tonight as I continue to talk about these omega-3s and omega-6s and cholesterol and everything, right? So the HDL, of course, is the healthy cholesterol. Always think of the HDL as being the good cleaner. The HDL is going to come along and clean up all of the mess in the blood vessels, right? Whereas the LDL is messy. The LDL is the one that leaves all of the junk in the blood vessels that end up clogging blood vessels and causing people to have strokes and heart attacks and things of that nature, right? So you want to have a high HDL number, because the HDL is going to clean up the LDL. But here again, there's a healthy component. I won't say healthy. There is a harmless component to the LDL. So there's a pattern A and then there's a pattern B. So the pattern A is the harmless part of the LDL. And if you think about the pattern A, it's like it's a larger molecule. So I'm just going to give it to you in the terms of a beach ball. If somebody kind of bounces a beach ball off your head, you're not going to be mad. You might turn around like, what are you doing? But you're not going to be super upset, right? Because it's harmless. It's just a beach ball. And you think about the pattern A's, they just bounce around. They just happy-go-lucky. They bounce around. They don't stick to anything. They don't harm anything. They're harmless, right? Like a beach ball, right? But a golf ball, let somebody throw a golf ball and hit you in the head, you're going to be mad. You're going to be upset. You're going to be ready to fight someone, because that golf ball is going to hurt. And it's the same concept that you think about the pattern B being a smaller molecule, like a golf ball. And I know the molecules are not the golf ball size and beach ball size. I'm just giving y'all some visuals that we can see. So, hey, Renee, so those golf balls, if you hit a golf ball way up in the air and it comes down, it's going to stick into the ground, right? So that's what happens. You think about those pattern Bs are the ones that stick into your arteries. They just stick into your blood vessels, and then they're not easy to be cleaned up, right? So the HDL has to come along and clean it up if your HDL is high. So you don't want to have low HDL. You don't want your HDL to be low because it needs to be able to clean up the LDL. But if you and I could have the same exact LDL number, but my LDL could be harmless and mine could be harmful and yours could be harmless. You could have pattern A and I could have pattern B, which means that I would be a higher risk of heart disease and things like that. So I always encourage individuals that when you go to the doctor and you get that blood test and they tell you that they checked your cholesterol and they say, oh, your cholesterol is up, or your cholesterol is here, your cholesterol is there. And they say, well, your LDL number is a little high. Always ask, is it my pattern A or my pattern B? And you don't even have to remember at that point. Just put your chest out. Is it my pattern A or is it my pattern B? So your doctor kind of will know, like, okay, so I need to be able to clarify this a little bit more. So they can't just say, you got high cholesterol, let me put you on some statins, because if you got the harmless version of the cholesterol, then you might not need statins. So I like to educate on that so people can make their decisions. Again, I am not a doctor, but I do just want to share with you some information that I've learned over time. So, and teaching the ketogenic lifestyle and gathering my degree in biology. So y'all definitely just understand the difference between the pattern A and the pattern B and the LDL and the HDL, and just know that there's a harmless component to the LDL, and you want to be specific about which one is high, which one is low. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper on some of this stuff. I take notes. So y'all see me looking, I'm taking notes. I got pages full of notes I write down just so I can make sure I don't forget to talk about certain things. So also these fasts are going to help to reduce they help to reduce arthritis symptoms. They help to reduce that. They help to reduce the risk of dementia, and that could be there's some arguments about that. So cholesterol, like I was telling y'all before, all animal cells need cholesterol because all animal cells have a bilipid layer. Every single animal cell. Yes, like I tell my students, we are animals, technically, right? Technically, we are animals and we have animal cells, and therefore we need that cholesterol. So I talk about the brain a little bit and how the brain needs cholesterol, but in all actuality, I don't want to confuse anyone, but I'll just put that out there because it's not really a true correlation between eating fat and cholesterol and the cholesterol that's in your brain. But I do like for people to understand just that it's important that we use cholesterol, that we actually use this stuff in our brain. Like 25% of the cholesterol in our body is in our brain. So our brain needs that fat, our cells need that fat. And I do want you to understand that there's not really truly a direct correlation between eating fat and then putting fat in your brain and all of that stuff. So I don't want to go too deep on that. So what I do want to talk about now, and I'll check y'all on the Facebook side, YouTube side, definitely drop questions. I haven't been getting a lot of questions from y'all on that side. I know because a lot of y'all probably found me through TikTok. So so y'all just wait to come on the TikTok side and ask the questions. But definitely feel free to drop any questions in here while we here, because it may help someone else. If you have a question, just to drop it in there. So I want to talk about the fats. So we talk about the bad fats, we talk about the good fats, and all of that type situation, right? So saturated fats are considered to be proceed with caution type fats, right? These are the animal fats that we're kind of told to they tell us to stay away from them. I'm not totally sold on that, but I think, okay, maybe you should moderate the animal fats. But the good thing is, on a ketogenic lifestyle, what do? We're moderating protein anyway. So we're moderating protein anyway, so it puts us in a good spot. So you're looking at like your fatty meats, your lambs, your porks, your poultries with skin. So like the chicken skin, chicken with skin, your beef fats, your large, your cheeses, and your dairies. Those are all considered the saturated fats. So pretty much anything that's coming from an animal is considered that saturated fat, which I'm not calling a bad fat, but there's some publications that will call it a bad fat. So you definitely want, and you can remember that as we grew up, what we taught, like, don't eat the fat on the meat, don't eat that, don't do this, and don't do that. So I think that some of that mindset still needs to be shifted, but I would say it's definitely one that I would say proceed with caution, which I think we do already with protein. So we already do that with protein. Trans fats. So trans fats, these are the ones you really want to stay away from. Trans fats are going to be in your cakes. They're going to be pretty much in a lot of packaged items. So when you're reading your labels, whether it's keto or it's not keto, you want to make sure that you're looking to see how much trans fats are in these things as well. Because they will put trans fats are nothing more than like man-made fats. And a lot of times these man-made fats will help to preserve the product so that gives it a longer shelf life and things like that. So y'all want to make sure that you are paying attention to that. Let me turn the volume off on my on this so that we're not getting that going through. So y'all definitely make sure that you do that. That you're looking at those trans fats. You're looking for those trans fats because those are the ones you definitely want to stay away from. So when I'm saying saturated fats, they're in the yellow. You proceed with caution with the saturated fats. We're going to eat meat. Some people are going to eat red meat. Some people are going to eat chicken and poultry and things like that. So that is what it is. But the trans fats you should definitely stay away from totally as much as you can, because they're artificial man-made fats that are going to be in bags and boxes in order to preserve whatever that product is. So they talk about the polyunsaturated fats. So the polyunsaturated fats, these are the ones that are all of those canola oils and things like that we tend to stay away from on the ketogenic lifestyle. And I'm gonna explain why in a minute, because they're high in what we call omega-6s. And there's something called the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. And the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio shouldn't be too high because if it's too high, it causes inflammation. And as you know, with the ketogenic lifestyle, we actually decrease our inflammation. So you don't want to increase it with these omega-3 to omega-6s. Well, omega-6s that throw off the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. All right, so then you got your mono unsaturated fats like your olive oils, your avocado oils, your peanut butters, and those type of things. Those are the ones. Those are your sweet spot. That's where you want to. That's where you want to be, right? That's where you want to. That's where you want to be for the most part. So just make sure that you understand those fats. You want to really stay away from the saturated fats. There'll be publications that will tell you the unsaturated fats, those poly fats, are okay. They will tell you to do the canola oils and the soybean oils and the corn oils and the sunflower oils. But on the ketogenic lifestyle, we stay away from that. So don't get caught up into that. If you do your own research, the poly unsaturated fats on the ketogenic lifestyle, we tend to stay away from those because they're high in omega-6s, and you end up with a off kilter omega-3 to omega-6 ratio, and it causes inflammation. Those and the soybeans and the canola and the corn oils and the sunflower oils are more, they're more natural to a certain degree because it's coming from a natural product. But even still, again, we stay away from those on the ketogenic lifestyle. Now, if you see it in an ingredient, I don't say run from it just because it's got one of those in it, but you definitely don't want to go buy a canister of it, right? You definitely don't want to go buy a bottle of any of those oils to use. So you want to stick with your avocados, your olive oils, and your coconut oils and those type of oils instead. So there we go with that. And then I'll explain a little bit about the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. So Gabby says, I heard the almond flour has a lot of omega-6s in it. What does that mean for using on keto? I mean, that's fine. The thing is, it's about a ratio. It's about the ratio. So if you're just doing the almond flour, then you're not overdoing it with the other oils. So really in actuality, the ratio is a 1-to-4, meaning the omega-6s are the ones that's the 4. So and I printed this out for y'all too, but I can't show it to y'all, but I'm gonna read it. So it's a 1-to-4 ratio. So a 1 omega-3 to a 4 omega-6. So you can get omega-6s. The thing is that you don't want to have off kilter omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. What I really don't think is that big of a deal. But I teach y'all because I know that people are saying these things and talking about these things, and I don't want you to be confused about it. I want you to be able to say, oh, coach told me about that. I know what that is. So yeah, Gabby, I wouldn't worry about that. So you're not running from omega-6s, but you definitely are going to be careful with those oils. And that's really, I'm telling you that to tell you this is why we stay away from those oils, because those oils, those omega-6s are in those soybean, corn oils, and sunflower oils and more. So I got a chart here I'm gonna share with you about the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. So here goes Sasha doing her thing once again. So here we go with let's see. I see Renee speaking to some folks. So April is back up. Say, hey coach, just bought some keto approved drinks. Woohoo! Yes, I'm glad you got some keto approved drinks to keep you going. So I wanted to list some of the omega-3s. Omega-3. So here goes some good omega-3s. Here go your good omega-3s. So your fish. Here goes. So a lot of it's going to be in fish. So not to say a lot of it, but fish is going to have good omega-3s. So that's one of the things that you can really stick with. So fish, you got your anchovies, your halibut, your herring, your mackerel, you got oysters, sardines, you got trout, and then you have tuna. So those are going to be good sources of omega-3s. So y'all know all of the benefits of omega-3s, which we talked about a little bit earlier. Those are going to be great. And then you got you also have non-fish sources of omega-3s. You got your flax seeds, you got your chia seeds, you got your walnuts, you got your Brussels, your hemp seeds, and then you got your kale, spinach, and cauliflower when it comes to your veggies. So Sasha is down here just going bonkers right now. So the TikTok side knows Sasha because we always take Sasha out together after I finish keto class because she's jealous of the fact that I'm on here talking to you guys, right? So she wants attention and that's what that's all about. So she gets down here and she does all of that growling and barking, trying to get my attention to take her out or to give her a snack or to throw the toy, whatever it might be. So that's what y'all hear. It's not my stomach growling, y'all. I promise I've eaten. I'm feeling good. I had some salmon today for lunch. So Sasha, you're gonna have to wait a few minutes and then we're gonna go or play or whatever it is you're trying to do. Y'all hear? So eggs eggs, milk, and yogurt. So that's another source of your omega-3s. So the veggie sources are your kale, your spinach, your cauliflower, and your Brussels sprouts. That's going to be your veggie sources. And then you got your nuts and seed sources. Going to be your flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, hemp seeds. So that's gonna be your sources of your omega-3s. And then your omega-6s are basically coming from those oils. So I have a chart right here. I can send this to y'all if you message me. I'll put this in the Facebook group. So I'll post this in the Facebook group when we finish tonight. I'll post this in the Facebook group so you can actually see the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio, and you want to be cognizant of the ones that are in the blue. The ones that are in the blue have a high omega-6 ratio, so you want to be cognizant of those. So with your omega-3 to omega-6 ratio will also be in certain items. So like this one, sunflower oil, which is one that is a polyunsaturated, right? Which is one that is recommended on pretty much any general publication that's not keto. They're going to recommend you use sunflower oil. But when you really look at this omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, it is super high. You can see it's 71% of omega-6 and a very small amount of your omega-3s or your oleic. So that's one thing too with the oils. If you see high oleic sunflower oil or safflower oil or whatever, if it has the word high oleic in front of it, it's fine. All right. So, but all of the other ones you want to be mindful of. So just wanted to share that with y'all tonight on your saturated, your unsaturated, your polyunsaturated, and just give you an idea of some of the things to look out for, because I know there's a lot of teaching, there's a lot of education, there's a lot of Googling, there's a lot of things going on. So I want to make sure that y'all can kind of, some of the things you hear, you can get an understanding of and see. So I see Sasha. See, Sasha, Alicia's saying hello to you, Sasha. So thank you, Alicia. Say hey to Sasha. So Tammy. So she said she's not hearing that, Coach. I know she just want to play. That's the whole thing. And now that I'm saying her name, now she's like, I got your attention. Like, come on. So all right, y'all. So on the Facebook side, if y'all want to leave some questions, then I will definitely be glad to answer your questions for y'all. If not, I'm gonna log off because I see Sasha's getting ready to drive me nuts, and then I'm gonna get up and she's not gonna want nothing. She just want my attention. So y'all, if you got any questions on the Facebook and the YouTube side, definitely drop them. I see Tammy. Thanks, Tammy, for dropping in on the YouTube side. If you're not on my YouTube, y'all follow my YouTube page. That's gonna be the best place to find my videos in a particular structure where I can actually create an order or where the classes are. So definitely follow the YouTube page. That's going to be a great place to see everything. On the Facebook side, y'all see I got my book over here. So that's my book, the Keto Playbook. Go to my Etsy, check out the Keto Playbook. I have a link in a few places, but for the most part, it's over in the file section. Or you can just go to ketocoache.com, and you go to ketocoache.com, you can kind of link into certain places. So definitely, y'all check out the ebook. And if you're looking for a meal plan, y'all, on my Etsy, I have and let me put the Etsy screen up here. I have a 2-month meal plan, y'all. And I just laugh every time I think of it because I'm like, God, it's 2 months. It's a 2-month meal plan. So let me get the banners. What happened to my banners? Oh, there you go. So it's a 2-month meal plan. I don't know what happened with that. So there we go. 2-month meal plan. So that's the Etsy. I just put that up on the screen. 2-month meal plan, 63 recipes, 2 months of food lists. So basically a shopping list, a 2-month shopping list, 2-month meal plans, and 63 recipes to match the food list and the meal plans, right? So definitely check that out on Etsy. And again, check out my book on Etsy as well. My book will walk you through the ketogenic lifestyle. If you're new, if you've been here for a while, whatever it might be, you'll get some nuggets out of the book to help you do keto better. So I appreciate y'all. Let me drop back here to these questions on the Facebook side. So Carl said, finish the book. It was definitely a good read. I appreciate that, Carl. So I'm glad it was able to help you. I really, although I'm a science person, I ditch the scientific jargon because I've been a teacher for so long that and my brain always worked like that as a student. Like I needed to be simplified. So every time I get something, I filter it and I simplify it. So that's just how I am as a teacher. That's just how that's how I process information as well, because the scientific jargon, like I will always say, like when I talk to my students and they give me a book definition, I'm like, do you understand that? And it's like, no. So it's like, always wanting to make sure that when I give you the book definition, I'm gonna take that book definition and I'm gonna filter it and I'm gonna spit it out in a way that everyone can understand. So I thank y'all for popping in. And I hope this class was helpful to y'all. I know it was a little bit deeper than normal, usually a little bit more surface with this stuff, or just giving food items and things like that. So hopefully this was helpful. So if this was helpful, y'all definitely drop a 2 in the chat if it was helpful. If this was a helpful class, so I know whether this is something I need to do a little bit more. Maybe I need to do this with some other components of foods as well. So y'all let me know if this was good for y'all or not. And I'm going to get ready to get out of here. So I see y'all on the I just happened to glance over. I see Red Bear. Hey, Red Bear said thank you. I see some thank yous over here on the TikTok side. Thank you, Andrea, on the Facebook side. So I see that was helpful for you. So y'all, I'm going to get out of here, and I see some more coming through there on the Facebook and the YouTube side. So y'all, I will be back at you guys next Sunday on the Facebook side and the YouTube side. I'm really working on doing more, like just more live videos on here. I like to keep them structured though. So I'm a little less structured on TikTok. So I just kind of chit chat and answer questions. So definitely follow me on all platforms, y'all. All platforms. I am Keto Coach E on every platform, on Etsy, on TikTok, on Facebook, on the Facebook group is different. The Facebook group, if you go to my the link in the bio, or if you go to the link in the bio or in the description, you will be able to go to my link tree, which will take you to the Facebook support group. So get in the Facebook support group. TikTok, the Facebook support group is the link in the bio. So y'all get in there. I'm gonna post this in the Facebook support group so y'all can look at that. I'll do that once I go live on TikTok. So if you're not in the Facebook support group, you're not going to be able to get this document. So definitely get in there, and it just kind of shows the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio on a lot of items. And you basically kind of can get an idea of which ones are very high. So that's it. If y'all want to try to grab a quick screen grab, but I'm going to put that in the group. So, all right, y'all, I'm out of here. I will see y'all next weekend, or maybe earlier. Who knows? I might see y'all earlier. So thank y'all for dropping in, and I will see y'all soon.